Welcome to Meet the Drummer. I'm your host, Brian Petry, and today's guest, my brother, Blasien Leblanc.
What's going on?
Blasien, welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, man, thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Thanks for taking the time to do it, man.
Of course, man.
So let's jump in. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing, what got you into drumming, and how'd the bug bite you?
Yeah, man. Well, I'm soon to be 32. Born and raised in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, so really grew up in those Cajun roots,
Yeah.
But I reside out in the Falls River area now, Lakeland, little town out there. But, man, I got started playing when I was around 4 or 5 years old, I guess. I kind of remember seeing these pictures of me, like, in the cabinets, banging on pots and pans. But I really, my first instrument was actually the accordion.
Wow.
I remember my dad had, an accordion that he had bought, and he never really learned how to play it. So that was really what I was messing with. But at the same time, he had a drum set too. Little backstory I kind of find out over the years. My dad played drums in high school.
Oh, wow.
But I never got to really witness that or see any kind of videos or anything. But it was known that he played back in the day. So
it's in the blood.
So, yeah, I was surrounded by music and culture, especially growing up in Breaux Bridge.
Wow. Yeah, there is a lot of talent in that whole Breaux Bridge, Cecilia, Henderson area, man. There is a lot of talent around there.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So, okay, how'd you get started playing drums? What? Tell us a little bit about your first time behind a kit and how that all came about.
So I think a big musical impact on me at that age, like when I first got my hands on a pair of drumsticks and behind my dad's drums, was Bo Jacques, man.
Oh, wow.
Old Skeeter. That groove, man, between him and Chuck Bush. I fell in love with that. And that's where I started, man.
Wow.
I was playing along to CDs. Actually, it might have been cassette. I can't remember either one. That was back when the radio had options. You can put a cassette or a CD in there.
Before downloads in USB.
Yeah. But I remember, man, I would turn that knob up as wide open as I could, and I would just learn that double kick pattern. And my dad realized, like, okay, we got something here. Like, all right. And he would bring me to Bayou Boudin, Cajun Cabins in Breaux Bridge, Mr. Rocky and Lisa Saunier.
Yeah.
And that was where I was surrounded by younger kids of the generation that were interested in playing Cajun music and bringing the heritage up to the rest.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I would go on Sundays and jam. And, I mean, I was surrounded by so much talent over there. I mean, we talking, Seth Guidry, Damon Troy, Gary Uze, Matthew Corville. And, I mean, multiple names.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where it all started, man.
Wow.
And then from there, Seth Guidry, God rest his soul, we miss him so much. But I was in a band called the Jammin' Cajuns. And we were all, between the ages of 6 to 13, 14 years old, man.
Wow.
And
playing gigs.
Playing gigs, man.
That's crazy,
Playing
man.
gigs.
That's crazy.
And then at the same time, my dad would bring me to Mulots a lot. And I would sit in with Lee Benoit and Ms. Val and all them.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I got my first, like, stage, like, this is kind of like my gig kind of thing, like sitting in. And then another one would be Jackie Kaye and the Cajun Cousins. My dad would bring me to the La Poussière, and I would sit in with them, and they would let me play at the CFMA Awards back when it was at the Blackham Coliseum.
Yeah, totally.
So,
I remember that.
Wow. I just remember those experiences, man, and I would never forget how I just felt so welcomed. They were intrigued by that. They wanted to support it. And they didn't really know me well. Now, I know they probably knew my dad well. He was such a great person, man, and I just fell in love with the stage, and I knew that is what I wanted to do.
When that bug bites you, man, that's it.
That was it, man. But that's kind of how it all started in a 2 to 3 year period before I really got into, this is like, I'm playing gigs now.
Yeah.
So it was just, being blessed with the opportunity to share stages with, seasoned musicians that had wonderful advice, but at the same time weren't judging how young I was. They wanted to support me.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Yeah, it's like we were talking before we started the episode. I was playing with Spit Cup, and I I think we were somewhere in Scott, and long story short, when we finished playing, somebody introduced me to you, and you couldn't have been more than 10 years old. And
Probably.
we had a great conversation about drums, and when we finished, I walked off, and I told Shal, and I was like, man, I felt like I had a conversation with a 10-year-old veteran, man. You were just, the way you talked about drums, your approach was so mature. Most little kids like that are just, they want to show you everything they know. Wow. And you were talking about pocket and beats, and I was mind blown, because that young to be in that mindset, you can tell you're around great players who steered you in the right direction. So that's really cool, man. And Lee, I think, Lee was a big influence on me. Yeah. My brother used to play in a rock band with Lee years ago, and I'd go to all their practices and stuff, and I'd wind up sitting in and playing with him. So Lee is,
wow, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Lee's a great guy, man.
Super great guy, man.
He's super talented too. He could pretty much play any instrument as well.
He was playing rock guitar back
which is
then.
That's what was like driving me to play multiple instruments, because he would let me play a couple songs on drums, and then he would let me play a song on the accordion, and
wow.
I was like, okay, so I can play both,
Yeah.
And Brobridge, small town, we're not far apart in age. I grew up with Hunter Hayes. And I just saw this kid playing everything, and I'm like, man, okay, I don't have to just focus on one thing. But my dad would always drive me to play that accordion, and it's a beautiful gift, and I'm thankful for that. And I love playing it, and there's no knock on it, but I like being on the kit, man. I'm not the favorite. Like, my favorite part is not being out front in the front.
Yeah, right.
I know it's hard to believe, because when I got the music in me, I can't guarantee what's going to happen, because I'm going to have a good time, and I'm doing it for the people.
Yeah, exactly.
But for me, man, I'm comfortable sitting behind the drums and doing what I do, and that's just where I lock in, and that's me. I'm very simple, and I like to just focus on one thing.
That's great, man.
So.
Yeah. It's to be a multi-instrumentalist, it's awesome, because it gives you such an understanding, of all these changes and stuff. It just gives you so much more insight of what to play on these changes without stepping on anybody's toes, which is really cool. Wow. So how'd you get into playing I know you play piano and keyboards and stuff.
Yeah, so, as my music journey continued through my younger years, when I started high school, Mr. Terry Guidry with the Nickel Beer Band, close friends, St. Martin Parish.
Yeah.
They knew that I played instruments, and I played on a cruise when I was younger back in the day. They wanted an accordion player, so we had a relationship, and they invited me to join the Nickel Beer Band.
I remember
so that was a big curveball, because we talking cover band, guys been playing together since they were in high school. Let's bring the teenager in the band,
right?
And man, that was like probably one of the best opportunities that I could have ever had, because not only did it showcase that I played multiple instruments, but I got to grow up with a good group of guys to lead me and teach me all the things that I thought I knew, but I was clueless about, and keep my head on straight while I was in high school.
Yeah, right.
But, man, I can't thank that band enough, because they never stopped me from wanting to take my musical talents to the next level. If I wanted to sing a song, they would coach me on how to sing. And then if I wanted to try these different songs on accordion, a triple roll, that was a different introduction to my life, playing Zydeco.
Yeah.
And then sometimes Teddy and I would do double drum gigs, which was like
a blast.
Absolutely powerful.
Yeah.
But in that band, I was basically playing percussion. And then I'd play some songs on drums, and then the keyboard factor came in as I gained interest. Like, I started piano when I was really young in school, but I remember this story. The piano teacher told my mom, she's like, I can't teach him. She's like, he's getting frustrated with the music because he really can't read it, or he doesn't care to understand it because he's already got it.
Yeah.
And then, like, my mom didn't understand what that was, and I didn't either. But knowing what I know now, I just had a gift from God, and I can literally listen to a song and just try to figure it out. And it takes time. Some come on easy, and some take work. But, the piano, man, it just took off. But I put it in the closet for a while, and then toward the end of my journey with Nickel Beer, I started playing keyboards, mainly playing organ parts, focusing on the B3 stuff and some of the, overdubs. And then I put it back in the closet for a while. And then I met my lovely wife, Miss Shelby Moses.
Yeah.
And we were doing trio gigs with my best friend, Seth Lecoq.
I remember that.
So I was playing like this cool, like cocktail kit, cajon situation on drums. And he was just a monster guitar player. We had the vocals between her and I. And, Seth went on to bigger and better things, and he's on the road now.
Yeah, he's with John Foster.
John Foster, man, and they're crushing it. But he's a full-time guitarist, and he's gonna fight the fight and run the run, whatever he's got to do. So it was around COVID, and my wife was like, I still want to play music. I was like, well, baby, I'm not learning how to play guitar. I never learned how to play guitar because everybody I knew growing up played guitar. I wanted to be different.
Right.
She's like, well, you got this keyboard. It's an old, Roland RD800. She's like, it's just sitting there in our room. I had it. It was on the stand. It was right by the window ledge, master bedroom. And literally, this sounds horrible, but we use it as a clothes rack. Like I would fold my laundry and stick it on there before I put it up.
Yeah.
And she's like, we need to start playing. So it was COVID. We didn't have anything to do. And we started, messing around and singing songs. And I started learning her music and actually like trying to incorporate Seth's cool guitar licks that he was doing in my playing because I'm already a very bassy player coming from a drum background. You know?
He's so tasteful, man.
He is, man. He's phenomenal, man. My best friend ever, man. He was my best man at my wedding.
That's awesome.
And then, man, we just took off with it. We did one gig and we were so nervous, man, and we ripped ourselves to shreds after that. And the feedback we got, and then we didn't really think about it, husband and wife duo. We weren't even married. Well, yeah, we were married. I'm sorry, excuse me. But it was, very, very early on into our marriage. And then, man, it just took off. We don't gig a ton because, we're raising kids and we work full-time jobs. But, the beauty of getting to do that with my person, the one I love,
Yeah.
And to have the same taste in music and songwriting and all that, man, that's like a rare find,
Yeah.
Sometimes that's like the perfect recipe for poison, but for me, man, it's been such a blessing. And man, it's just really taken off for us, man, and we enjoy doing it. And
man, that is such a key thing. Blake Birch and I talked about this on his episode, but to have someone not only who is supportive, because for being a musician, for your significant other to be supportive is hugely important.
Man, that's top notch. That's top priority.
But to have a marriage and relationship like you have with Shelby, and y'all are both musicians, and get to play together and like the same, dude, that's a whole unicorn situation, man.
I think
it's not real.
I remember in our wedding vows that we wrote, I remember specifically, she said, I love harmonizing to music with you in the car.
That's awesome.
Because, that's where we locked in, man. She sat in one night to sing a song with Todd O'Neill when I was playing with him, and, man, that was it. I was like, okay, no, nothing's stopping me. I got to know you, where you from, who's your mom and them. I want to know your story.
Right.
And, it took a long time to establish anything, but, man, it started with us with a song and harmonizing, and that kind of, our relationship is like that, man. It's just built on starting from music.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, that's rare. That's definitely a rare thing. Yeah. So, if you had to pick any influences for drumming, who would you say your influences were?
Yeah, I want to touch on the local level and then kind of go to maybe the bigger mainstream level.
Man.
But like for me, I mentioned earlier, it was Skeeter with Bojack, man, and then as I branched out and learned more on the Cajun and Exotic Cajun aspect, I got to pay homage to Troy Gaspar.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Brickneck and Mike Birch.
Yeah.
I think that those are three completely different styles, but designed on one specific groove.
It is where it is because of those guys.
Exactly, and they paved the way for all of us, man. Yep. And I've always wanted to create my own style, and you can even incorporate Skeeter in that. I basically took those four styles of drumming and just tried to create a mix of it because I favored them so much in different ways. You know? But those were big influences on me as a kid. And then, Of course, Chad Gilmore.
Oh, Chad,
He had
man.
a major impact on me. Trey Landry, Kevin Stelly, Gary Uze, and Brad Frank, man. I mean, he's a solid drummer too, man. That Zydeco kick, man. That's, dude. I mean, it's just like a metronome, man. Even when you listen to him live.
Yeah.
But at the local level, at a young age, and Gary and I had a lot in common and a good relationship as young. I think we're cousins somewhere down the line.
Oh, wow.
But he would come over to my house and show me stuff. And I remember when he was doing a Damon gig, and I was trying to learn all his stuff and all his licks, and we had a good relationship. We still do. But he had a big impact on me when I was a kid, man.
Gary's great, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Excuse me. But on mainstream level, I'd have to say Stuart Copeland, Jeff Beccaro.
Oh yeah.
I like Ben Caesar with Brad Paisley. He's one of my favorites, especially when I got into the country scene, because he's one of those drummers that when he's laying it down, it's absolutely rock solid. But if you want to see some flashy stuff, man, with that traditional grip, he's absolutely just mind blowing to me. Yeah. He's been one of my favorite drummers to watch.
It's a powerhouse, man.
For sure, man. Along with like Chris McHugh and Seth Rosh, they've always been my favorites.
Yeah.
And then like at the studio level, in country music, Nashville-wise, I like Miles McPherson, Evan Hutchings, Lonnie Wilson. I think he's from Monroe. Lonnie actually played on my wife's material that she recorded in Nashville.
Oh, wow.
I think he did like some Joe DiMessina stuff and stuff back in the day. So
that's cool.
He's pretty well known.
Yeah, those guys are dialed in over there, man.
And then on the Christian level, like praise and worship music, I like Vincent Badner. He's really good. He plays with Elevation Worship. And he's super tasteful, man. He kind of does some off-the-wall stuff, but he's like one of those drummers, too. Like, when it's rock solid, it's solid, but, oh, hold on, watch this lick. And
right.
I mean, but, man, I like all drummers from all genres. And, at the local level, man, like to this day, I think every drummer has an influence on me. And I think that's the beautiful thing about South Louisiana, man. We speak a certain language in the drumming world. And not just the drumming world, at a musician level. I mean, we all just speak the same language at the end of the day, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And I highly respect everybody, man.
And that's how it should be, man. It's not a competition. You want to build the scene. You want to support each other, not tear it down. Yeah. All the big scenes, Seattle, L.A., Nashville, they didn't turn into the scenes they turned into by people tearing each other down and, cutthroat competing and stuff like that. They supported each other. They build each other up, man. And that's how you build that's how you build a scene, man.
For sure, man.
That's the right attitude, brother.
Yeah, and man, my favorite thing, like in South Louisiana, is like the K-Bon Festival, for example, or any festival that has multiple bands. It's just a giant hangout, and we all get to watch each other do what we love, man.
Exactly, man.
And it's just a beautiful experience, man. It's a great family to be a part of.
It is.
It's very special.
And I say it all the time, man. The talent pool down here is just, it's so deep. You can go anywhere and there's talent, but there's just something, especially the rhythm sections down here. Yeah. It is just, it's something special, man, because there's a lot of talent here. And if you don't know how to shuffle here, you're in trouble.
You're right about that. You are right.
So,
4 on the floor and shuffle,
man.
You got to have that locked in, man.
Yeah, you got to know how to shuffle, man.
For sure,
so, what's your favorite style to play?
Man, my first love will always be Cajun, Zydeco Cajun, but
that's our culture, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. But my absolute favorite is just Southern soul, rock, and blues, man.
Yeah.
I like the laid back, the gritty feel. Most of it was never absolute perfection when it was recorded.
Yeah.
And I like that, man. I like a little bit of edgy.
The human element.
And I think it's a blank canvas. You can put any words to it. You can put any beat to it.
Yeah.
You can do anything, man. And that's where I love to play, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do those types of gigs live very often, but if I'm behind the kit in my music room upstairs at home, that's definitely a go-to for me.
You ever check out Chris LeBlanc?
Yeah.
Down there?
Oh, man, we love Chris.
Dude, I love Chris, man. I got to play with Chris for a couple of years. He's one of those cats, man.
Yeah.
He's just, everything he does is
you got a set of pipes on him, too, man.
He does, man. But that's the thing, you're talking about that style, and the first image that pops up in my head is Chris or Blackberry Smoker.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Man, I love Blackberry Smoke.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. It's, they're the guys who blend the country, the blues, and the southern rock all in one. And it's great, man. It's great. Yeah. So anyway, how did you get picked up or noticed for your first real working gig?
Yeah. I touched on the Nickel Beer piece.
Yep.
So as that...
How'd they find you, though? How did they...
Well, Mr. Terry reached out to my dad. I believe it was maybe 2005-ish. I was in middle school, junior high at that point, and I was still kind of just gigging with different bands.
Yeah.
But actually, my first band ever outside of Jammin' Cajuns was Sean Vidrine at Swamp Farm, man. It was weird. I remember getting this call from Mr. Jimmy Uze, and he had already talked to my dad, and he's like, hey, we're going to Branson, Missouri next week to play Mardi Gras Festival in Branson, and we need a drummer. We're in a bind. And
oh, wow.
He said, we're gonna have a rehearsal at your dad's house, so just if you remember some of Sean's music, listen to that, and just touch on the basis, the standards that we do in South Louisiana. And I did 2 songs in the music room in my dad's house, and they were like, "Yep, he's coming. We're good." And I was just like, "Wow, okay, this is awesome, man."
Yeah.
And I did the run with Sean for a while. I think I was 10, 11, 12 years old. So it was probably around the same time that you and I had the conversation when you were playing with Spit Cup.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Then that led into Dustin Ray and Southern Groove for a while. I played on the Southern Groove album with Dustin.
Yeah.
And then from there I went to Nickel Beer, which that relationship was established a long time before all those things.
Yeah.
And I think my dad was my biggest fan, my biggest influencer. And he always wanted me to be safe, and he wanted me to be led in the right direction. And when he kind of pushed for me to do the Nickel Beer thing, like I said, that's probably one of the best things that could ever happen for me. But we all grow up, and we think we're big enough to make our own decisions. Right. So as I got into college, I was kind of freelancing. I had my license now. I was working. I was in school. Yeah. So I was, hanging out with different bands and filling in with different people. And I remember telling Mike Birch at Scott's Drum Center back then when it was still open, man, I missed that place. Please reopen Scott's Drum Center. Right? But I can edit that out. I'm sorry. But, man, I spent so much time in that place when I was growing up.
It's just a vibe, man,
I remember having a conversation with Mike. It was a heartfelt, heart-to-heart conversation. He asked me, do I want to take my career further than where I'm at? What do I have in store? What do I think I want to do? Yeah. And I was 18, 19 at the time. And I remember telling Mike, I said, man, I would love an opportunity to really get out there and do something different. And at that time, there's so many drummers here and so many established bands. I didn't really have a shot at the time. Everybody was locked in, good relationships, longevity.
Yeah, right.
So out of the blue, man, I get a call about a year later. It's Todd O'Neill. And I had never spoken a word to Todd in my life. I never met him.
He's a character.
He left the Chiwis and was doing his country thing
for
quite some time, actually. The band was established by the time he called me.
Yeah.
But he ran into a situation where he needed a drummer that could work, and I mean work, because they were playing a lot back then.
Yeah, Todd was rolling, man.
But he called Mike Birch. And, of course, Mike did not do it, but Mike said, I got the perfect person for you. And Mike had told him a little bit about me. And, he stuck his neck out on the line for me and vouched for me and told Todd to call me.
Wow.
And that was how the conversation went, man. Todd called me. He said, hey, man, I don't really know you, but my name's Todd O'Neill, and this is what we're doing, and I need a drummer. He said, and I called Mike Birch, and he told me to call you. And if Mike tells me to call you, then he must be serious.
Yeah.
So, man, he called me, and we went back and forth and talked through it. And I knew it was a big decision for me to make, man, because, it was a selfish decision because it was something I wanted to do for me. And when I say for me, I'm talking a big life decision because I knew that I was stepping into – I'm about to be a full-time musician.
Yeah, right.
Do I stay in college? How do I stay in college? I'm working – What's the balance?
Yeah.
But
Is the
man,
risk
I went
worth the reward?
Yeah, and I went out and I said, man, I want to do this because, at that time we weren't talking, record deals or touring. We were just talking, hey, I'm a dominant South Louisiana, Mississippi Gulf Coast country
gigs.
guy. I got gigs.
Yeah.
We pay well. You want to work.
And everybody loved Todd, man.
Yeah, man, great dude.
Everybody loves that
Absolutely. So he sent me some material. I think it was like 200 songs, and I'm like, okay, all right, this ain't just country. This is a little bit of everything,
Right.
and this is right up my alley.
Yeah, right. It was, too.
So I auditioned for the gig at Cowboys on like a Tuesday night, and man, I remember being so intimidated because there were so many drummers that were there because Dusty Sawyer was playing at the saloon that night, and back in those days, there was a musicians hangout.
Oh,
man.
yeah, for sure.
But it was nothing but support there, of course.
Yeah,
but man, like I'm stepping out of being a utility player in a cover band to I'm about to drive the ship, man.
You were about to go where you belong.
Yeah, well,
you belong behind a drum kit.
I didn't know that at the time, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I was with Todd, man, for like 7 or 8 years, man.
I remember. Yeah.
And I got to ride the wave with him, man. We went from playing in the dominant South to the next level, man. We really got that opportunity, and I was thankful to be a part of that. But that gig right there is kind of what kind of just drew the line in the sand for me and said, I am a drummer. This is what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
But I didn't go into it with that attitude. I learned a lot throughout the years of being in that band, from a personal level to a professional level.
Yeah. If you ever stop learning, just stop
right.
playing.
Yeah. You better learn something every time you pick up an
Exactly.
instrument. And if you don't,
Yeah.
then it's time to quit.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I learned so much, man, and I met so many great people, and I got to witness and be part of so many amazing things, man.
Yeah, you got a best friend and a wife.
Yeah.
In that gig.
If I wouldn't have been in that band, there's a 99% chance I would have never met my wife.
That's crazy, man. Yeah.
But yeah, man, we gigged a lot, man. We did 5 to 6 gigs a week. Sometimes it was less, but I mean, there was a good chance we were doing doubles and triples.
I remember.
We were working, man, and we were having a great time, man. It was a brotherhood. But I think the best part of that experience was watching Todd get the opportunity to get signed with Big Machine record label, and that takes me back to the Nash Next competition.
That was so awesome.
Little old us from South Louisiana go and compete with these Nashville cats.
Yeah.
Or people from the East and West Coast that have been doing this. They know the tracks. They know the arrangements. They got the number charts. Like, we're just playing music because we love to do it.
Right.
And we're blessed enough to make a living doing it, man.
Yeah.
But
you have to love it, though, man.
Yeah.
To take it to that level, you have to love it.
Absolutely. You have to be devoted to it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But, man, that gig, I felt like I owned it after all the years that I was in it. I went through, a lot of ups and downs and great memories in that. But all good things come to an end, of course.
For sure.
I made the decision. It was after the record deal, and we were on the road a lot. And it's
you guys won the Nash Next deal.
Yeah, we did, man.
Big Machine.
That was
talk
incredible.
a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure.
That was there were some big names there checking y'all out.
At that point in time, we were starting to travel back and forth to Nashville. This was pre-Nash Next. Todd was cutting records, and he had some singles out, and we were getting chances to play CMA Fest, Fan Fest, and things. Not in the arena, but the Fan Fest outside of it and everything. But
still.
And then we were playing, on the Strip, on Broadway and Uptown, Midtown. So he was establishing a name, and it was like, okay, if I'm going to compete with these cats that do this literally every day of their lives, I mean, the taxi cab drivers in Nashville are pro musicians.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, I'm telling you, it's the truth.
Yeah.
But, man, we worked hard to get to where we got to, and then he had the Nash Next opportunity, and he did it on his own as a solo artist for the beginning of the competition because it was like, okay, we just want to know if you can sing, can you write, can you entertain?
Yeah.
And then he made it to the finals, which was the top 10 bands from all of the U.S., and we got invited to play in Nashville for it. And Todd chose us to back him. He could have chose anybody. He could have got some cats from up there because he had relationships that he was establishing.
Yeah.
But he picked us, man, and we went. And I'll never forget, man, we played in front of 4 judges. It was Scott Borchetta, Danielle Bradbury, Jay DeMarcus, and Kix Brooks.
Wow.
And I was shaking. We weren't playing on a click.
Yeah.
We didn't have any charts.
So you were listening.
We knew we were playing an original. We loved the original. We were already playing it live. And he just told us, he's like, man, just do what you do at home, and they will love it.
Yes.
And, man, we didn't think we were going to win that, man. We just thought, okay, we're here for the ride. Let's go enjoy ourselves. But we took it seriously. I mean, of course, we put everything we had into it, but we didn't go into that with any kind of expectations of we're gonna do this thing.
Yeah.
And sure enough, man, we freaking won.
Well,
I say we. He won.
No, y'all
we
won.
backed him.
No, y'all won.
But, you know, we won the thing, man. And we were, I'll never forget, I think Jordan Guidry picked Seth Lecoq up so high off the ground. I was like, put him down, he's going to play. But, man, it was some great cast, man. Seth Lecoq, Jordan Guidry, Miles Ladner.
Oh, yeah,
man. We had such a great band, man.
Y'all really did.
And then we got to... at the end of the night, man, Kix Brooks was trying to slide out that door, and we said, Kix, man, we don't want to be like this, but can we just get a picture with you? We love Brooks and Dunn, man. And he's like, of course. And then he's like, wait, y'all were in the band with Todd. And we were like, yeah. He's like, man, y'all are phenomenal. And, you know, at that point in my life, I was seeking a lot of validation. It was my early 20s.
Yeah, for sure.
And I struggled with that my whole life, of course, but to hear him say that, man, it wasn't, you know, everybody knew Todd was great, but like the validation for the band, and
check that
just
off
to
the
get
list.
that, just to hear that, and it was genuine the way he said it, man.
Yeah,
and he talked
awesome.
to us for a couple minutes before he rolled out, but yeah, man, that was an amazing experience, and that's what took his career to the next level. I mean, you know, we talking singles on the radio, and then of course out of that, Jay DeMarcus was producing Todd. Which brought us out and gave us more road opportunities. Yeah, Jay's ridiculous, man. He's got a mind that's just off the wall when it comes to music, man.
You know, man, I got to see them when they came to the Cajun Dome, and it's because Jim Riley and I know each other from air gigs.
Well, Jim and I stayed in Kentucky.
He's so cool,
We
man.
stayed in touch, you know, after I got to actually meet him when we opened up for them in Long Island.
Yeah.
And that's a great dude, too, man.
Oh,
I follow all his
He's
videos
killer.
and everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. That's that whole band. They're just great dudes. And that's the thing, like, you know, you get out there on that level and you just realize that those people are just like us, man. They don't think any differently.
They just have better gigs than us.
Yeah, they just got better gigs. You know, they play in arenas and we play in bars.
Yeah, right.
You know, or festivals, but, you know, it all means the same in the long run because it's just for the love of music.
Absolutely.
That's what we do it for. It doesn't matter how many people. We just do it because we love it.
So would you consider that one of your favorite shows that you've ever done, that Nash Next?
Yeah, that's the top, man. I got a top 3, man.
Yeah.
Nash Next is there for sure. And then while I was on that touring and that big wave with Todd, we got to open up for Rascal Flatts in Long Island.
Wow. They're so killer live, man.
That was insane. The stage rotated. It was in this big arena. And, I mean, we did a lot of fantastic big events while we were on the road, but that one, I think that was like, this might be the only time I get to do this. Because like at that point in time in my life, I realized, okay, I'm probably not going to be doing this forever. But my other top show would be not on drums. I was playing accordion, and I think it was 2010. I was a sophomore in high school, and Wayne Toops invited me to play double accordion with him for one song at Jazz Fest. And that is the one and only time I ever played Jazz Fest.
Wow.
So I think it might be the only time I've ever been.
He pulls some massive crowds for Jazz Fest too, man.
I don't know. Him and my dad had a good relationship. Of course, they played a lot of golf together.
Yeah.
But man, when they invited me to do that, I was just like, "Are you kidding me?" And man, he was like, "You better be ready." He's like, "We're about to do this."
Oh, I'm ready.
I'm like, "I'm ready.
I'm already there."
I mean, I'll pull this thing apart if I have to keep up with you.
Oh yeah.
But that was so cool, man. I think that was like my first giant crowd I ever played in front of, and then of course that was like, okay, I gotta have more of this. And I got to, and the good Lord blessed me with playing with Todd O'Neill to
Yeah.
witness what that feels like on a different level. But man, that's kind of where my professional, like, full-time journey ended, was with Todd.
Yeah.
There came a crossroads where, you know, the road thing, it wasn't going away, or the band wasn't breaking up or anything. I was at a point in my life where, okay, I'm a senior in college. I stayed in school. I promised my dad I was going to stay in school when I did that.
That's such a good decision.
And, he supported me through it. I mean, I could have never made it through college without him.
Yeah.
But I graduated from UL and it was 2018, and it was just time to make a change. But simultaneously, the gig started slowing down for him too, and I was trying to do both. I came, I was home. I finished school. I was trying to seek a career. That didn't come easy because I didn't have a resume that was very well. I mean, I literally played music for a living, and
yeah.
so I tried to juggle both.
Yeah.
I tried to juggle both at the same time, and then I just came to reality a realization that I was ready to establish a professional career and have a family and settle down, and I knew that music was always gonna be there.
Oh yeah.
But I couldn't make music the top priority of my life because I wanted bigger and better things for my personal life.
Yeah, for sure.
And we parted ways, but we stayed in touch to this day.
Yeah.
And I still play gigs with him. Actually, Brian Bricknack's playing for him now. And when Brian goes on the road with Sonny, I'm always Todd's first call. So the relationship, it never broke up.
You guys had a chemistry though, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how it is when you're playing. You don't get to go out and hear bands much unless you're crossing at a festival or something, But thankfully, you guys play close to the house sometimes when, we had an off night or something. So I would get to go hear y'all, and man, you guys had that gig locked down, man. It was smoking.
That was a very quirky gig, man. It had a lot of different things that we established with old time and popular songs, but we put our own seasoning on it.
Oh, it was great, man.
We had something special. It definitely wasn't the gig that you just roll up into and just like know it right away.
Yeah. You guys had a stupid huge following too.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a club around here that you guys were playing, there was not a club that you guys didn't pack out. I mean, everywhere. It was never an empty club when you guys were playing there, and that was awesome.
Yeah, we were spoiled. I was spoiled. Because, I mean,
it's good.
Like, it's not often you land a gig that does
I
that.
know.
Especially, like, the crazy thing about the Todd O'Neill gig is that was something I never saw myself doing. Like,
Right.
Growing up as a kid, like, my dream gig was playing for Wayne Tubes inside the Cajun. Like, I thought I was going to be down here playing the music I grew up on. I never thought I was going to cross the state line to go play country and southern rock and blues.
Yeah, right.
That was the last thing I'd ever thought I had in store for me. So, man, to watch my dreams come true, but on a whole different level.
But that shows the maturity, man,
treat.
in you as a person and in your playing. Because I know I talk about it with a few of the guys that come in here. People look at country, well, the ones who don't play country and don't know about playing country, they're like, oh, it's so easy, it's so boring, and this and that. No. Country made me personally a much better drummer because, man, look, you got to sell that vocal. You really have to really exaggerate the dynamics, but the touch.
It's got to be finesse.
There's got to be finesse. I grew up playing rock where you could bash your way through anything.
Yeah.
Country, man.
I think the definition of being a country drummer is discipline.
It's a discipline check for sure, 100%, man. Yeah.
It made me a better drummer.
Absolutely, man. You sounded, I mean, I've always been a fan, but yeah, it definitely, I always encourage any drummer, if you get a chance to play country, do it. It's like country and blues. Those two things you'll establish feel and dynamics like no other genres you could play, man.
No, for sure, man.
So I think that's pretty cool. So, anything you want to share other than?
Yeah. Well, outside of that, I've been married for a few years now, and I have 2 beautiful children. And then I have soon to be baby girl on the way. She'll be here in a few weeks. But, man, the pure joy I get out of getting to do what I love with my wife, but then now with my children. To see my children born with the gift. And they get it on both sides now.
Yeah, man.
But, man, my son, he's like the spitting image version of me, and it's terrifying sometimes. Yeah. But, man, to see him, he's 4, he'll soon to be 5, but, like, at 2 years old, he was beating on the drums, and he's 4 now, and he's playing. He knows the difference between a waltz and a two-step, and he wants to play outside of his comfort zone. Like, yeah, he ain't finesse and matured, but he's got it. And to see him doing that, and I get to feel how my dad felt about me now. And my goal is, I always want to continue to do this, but now it's time for me to give my children what I was given.
I know you're feeling that pride, though, man.
Oh, man, it's fantastic. And I mean, I hope at some point, like, he's gonna be doing. Our duo is going to turn into a trio because my son's playing acoustic drums,
Man, yeah, to do a gig with your child.
Yeah, and then, my oldest daughter, Lila, can sing, and she's got her mom's pipes, man. And then, I don't know if we're going to have a singing drummer girl when our baby girl Nora's born in a few weeks, but, like,
probably. If
we continue on that trajectory, I'm cool with that. Like,
yeah.
But, I know I'm not dominant in South Louisiana as far as for full-time gigging anymore. And I've had to say no to some of the biggest opportunities that I dreamed of.
Dude, people know your name. Yeah, they have not forgotten your name, I promise.
My goal is to just stay relevant and just stay respected and give the same to everybody else.
Yeah.
But, my advice is just stay humble and learn something from every single musician, and don't set the bar based off of the popularity level, because everybody in this area is extremely talented, and everybody has a story that's worth being heard.
Yeah, that's great advice, man. Support each other, build the scene, don't tear it down. That's we're gonna preach that in every show, every single episode. We're gonna preach that. Build the scene, man. Support your brothers.
Yes, indeed.
Well, awesome. We ready to play some drums?
Man, let's do it.
Let's play some drums, baby. I did it again. I forgot about the food. I
didn't forget. I don't miss a meal.
Thank you. Throw something at me.
No, I won't do that.
So, yeah, you cook.
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
Man, I cook every opportunity I can get. I'm a lot more busy these days. We got sports on the weekends, and we always, my wife and I have a lot of friends, and well, I'm the one that's busy, but but I mean, any chance I get, I can cook, man. I got this nice outdoor kitchen in our house.
I saw it, dude. It's beautiful.
Man, I'm cooking gravies, barbecue, brisket. I don't care what it is, man. Fish fry, you name it. But I know I've been touching on my dad a lot, but like, I have all my dad's recipes, man. And he was such a great cook, man. And he had his own way of doing it. And let me tell you something: if you did it differently, it wasn't right. I can promise you.
He let you know.
I took that trait for sure.
Yeah.
But man,
that's awesome.
We're always cooking, man. And my wife's a good cook too, so that's dangerous. Like, we have to stay in the gym, no doubt. We'll be in a bind.
Yeah.
So, but man, we used to cook out on the road too. I mentioned Seth Lecoq and Jordy Guidry earlier. Some of my favorite stories of being on the road wasn't on the stage. It was off stage, and on off days when we had a little Coleman stove.
Yeah.
And we had a small cast iron pot. And we'd go to the grocery store. We couldn't find no fresh sausage, smoked sausage, and all that good stuff. But we found some meat, some onions, some bell peppers, and we had a way to cook rice. We were cooking gravies
in that gravy long enough.
On the benches in the parking lot in front of the hotels, man.
I love it.
And, some of these were like, a lot of construction workers were coming in from the job sites, and they were like, man, that smells good, man. We said, man, we're going to start selling some plate lunches out here, man. Make some extra money on the side. We never did that, but
that's a good hustle, though.
We enjoyed cooking, and that was part of the brotherhood, man. We all, and to this day, Seth and I, we're very close, and we still get together and cook some gravy sometimes, and that's some of where the best memories are made, man.
Oh,
off stage
absolutely.
is where it's at too.
That's our culture. We cook. We don't just cook. We cook for everybody.
That's right.
You don't ever just cook a little bit.
I could feed the whole neighborhood when I cook.
Exactly, man.
And no shame about it either.
Oh, it's beautiful, man. I know. I love it. It's great. And on the road, especially when you're out of state, and you bring that Cajun food to, they lose their minds over that.
There's nothing
man.
like it.
Nothing like it.
Flavor Town, man.
Yeah, bro. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I can't believe I forgot to bring that. It's just a,
I think my stomach was growling, so I had to remove
Is
it.
you
to
ready?
remind you, so.
That's
Started thinking
awesome.
about what I'm going to cook tonight when I get home, you know.
Yeah, same here. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something new. Awesome. All right, brother. Let's play some drums.
Let's do it.
Monday morning traffic, yeah, I'm back at it. Where in the hell does the weekend go? Red Bull and coffee, shake the party off me. Burning both ends, blowing down the road. If Friday was a can, I'd crush it. If Monday was a race, I'd punch it. I work for 50 all week, no stopping. But the clock keeps ticking and the wolf keeps a knocking. The world's taking more than a man's been given away a full-time job to make a part-time living. My blue-collar daddy had a blue-collar daddy. Proud of my working man pedigree. Cost of living, cost of dying, cost of barely getting by. More than you can get with sweat equity. Call my baby when the day is through. But my baby's working overtime too. I work a 50 all week, no stopping. But the clock keeps ticking and the wolf keeps a knocking. The world's taking more than a man's been given away a full-time job to make a part-time living. Just want my baby when the day is through. But my baby's working overtime too. I work a 50 all week, no stopping. But the clock keeps ticking, the wolf keeps a knocking. Well, it's taking more than a man's been given. I work a full-time job. I work a 50 all week, no stopping. The clock keeps ticking and the wolf keeps a knocking. The world's taking more than a man's been given. I work a full-time job to make a part-time living. I work a full-time job to make a part-time living.